So we at the Smart Intel Lab at the University of Bristol are going to present you with 5G in a box. So the 5G in a box is a prototype for the 5G product, and 5G is still being actively researched, and it's still under standardization, and much of the functions that we use needs a lot of changing and lots of adaptations. So a fixed function hardware cannot support most of the functions that's required for the 5G nowadays. So we are trying to look at a flexible and programmable platform that will help us in meeting the needs of 5G. So this is what we propose as the 5G in a box, and the 5G in a box is a high density compute server which also has a lot of storage and some high performance networking, and we are heavily reliant on the FPGAs to provide the network processing. So 5G as a use case is not just providing you with change in the radio network, but it also is an absorption of a lot of different applications ranging from virtual reality to robotics to the Internet of Things and many more. So when all of these packets start streaming, it's going to create a bottleneck at the central office, and in order to meet with the demands of the central office, we are actually proposing these boxes. So these boxes will go into the central office. So since we are heavily reliant on the FPGAs, in this slide we just try to show how a typical processor works and how it compares to an FPGA. So when you have 4 packets coming in, like each of the packet gets sequentially processed. So for each packet it takes 1 clock cycle. So on the whole it takes 4 clock cycles for 4 packets. But if you go further onto an FPGA, so much of the logic is configurable. And over that, if for the same scenario where at T0 we have 4 packets, all the packets get concurrently processed. So you get much lower latency and an increased bandwidth. So in this demo, we are trying to show an emulation of how 5G in a box can support multiple applications. And here we have emulated different protocols ranging from 5G, LTE, Wi-Fi and IoT. And you can see that the 5G LTE is running at 5 gigabits per second, and LTE is running at 16 megabits per second, and IoT is relatively a small number of traffic, which is in the kilobits, in the order of kilobits per second. So here you can see that the 5G is actually aggregating all of this traffic together, and here it shows the total aggregation count. And just to prove the versatility of the system, we see that if we can plug out the link, you can see that here the data rate actually goes into 0, and now I'm going to plug it back, and then you can see that the link goes up again and you can reach 5 gig. So I think 5G in a box is a great enabler to the evolution of 5G, and we're happy to support with these things.